Book Summary 12 Rules for Life by Dr. Jordan Peterson. 12 Rules for Life. An Antidote to Chaos is a book by Jordan Peterson that offers practical advice on how to live a fulfilling life. 12 Rules for Life provides 12 profound and practical principles for how to live a meaningful life. From setting your house in order before criticizing others to comparing yourself to who you were yesterday, not someone else today. The book's central idea is that suffering is built into the structure of being, and although it can be unbearable, people have a choice either to withdraw, which is a suicidal gesture, or to face and transcend it. Living in a world of chaos and order, everyone has darkness that can turn them into the monsters they're capable of being to satisfy their dark impulses in the right situations. The book advances the idea that people are born with an instinct for ethics and meaning, and should take responsibility to search for meaning above their own interests. Jordan B. Peterson is a Canadian clinical psychologist, self-help writer, cultural critic, and professor of psychology at the University of Toronto. His main areas of study are in abnormal, social, and personality psychology, with a particular interest in the psychology of religious and ideological belief, in the assessment and improvement of personality and performance. I hope you do enjoy watching Summary 12 Rules for Life. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. See you in next video. Here are some key summary points from the book. Follow the 12 rules to live a more fulfilled life. Rule 1. Good posture is a winner. Science shows that the release of happy hormones is higher for winners than losers. This leads to a whole host of benefits. Rule 2. Care for yourself like you do your most beloved other. We punish ourselves. Do what's best for you, as well as what makes you happy. To do this, identify your goals. Rule 3. Surround yourself by positivity. Negativity spreads, so choose your friends wisely. Rule 4. Stop comparing yourself to others. Being overly self-critical leads to black and white thinking and losing sight of the big picture. Compare yourself to yourself. Rule 5. When parenting, be responsible and likable, not just a friend. Limit the rules, use the minimum force necessary, and utilize pairs. Rule 6. Take responsibility, stop judging. Seeing the world negatively makes you justify bad behavior. Rule 7. Set meaningful goals instead of instant gratification. Make sacrifices and stick with your goal. Rule 8. Always speak the truth. Create achievable goals, otherwise you're your own worst enemy. Rule 9. There's always something to learn. Listen. Summarize what someone said to you. Rule 10. In language, precision is vital. It aids communication and helps relationships. Rule 11. Don't have goals that suppress others' positive qualities. Rule 12. Appreciate the small joys. By being grateful for every little positivity, you start seeing the good in everything. When you have something to say, don't be silent. To find out what you actually believe, watch how you act. Determine your vision and where you are going in your life. Don't overvalue what you don't have and undervalue what you do. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to someone else. You are important and deserve respect. You have a vital role to play in this world. Choose your tools wisely. Faulty tools produce faulty results. Focus on building your character, not status. You can lose your status, but not your character. Delay gratification. Bargain with the future. To fix the world, fix yourself. Place your becoming above your current being. Order can become excessive and chaos can swamp us. Find a balance between the two. When you betray yourself and act out a lie, you weaken your character. Do not sacrifice what you could be for what you are. Be cautious because making your life better means adopting responsibility. Articulate your own principles so others don't take advantage of you. Don't figure everything out on your own. Learn from the wisdom of the past. It was hard-earned. Rules are necessary. Without them, you can quickly become a slave to your passions. That's not freedom. Here are my top takeaways from the book. Key takeaway number 1. Stand tall and hold your head high. Did you know that where you are in a hierarchy, a pecking order, can affect your posture? Hierarchies occur throughout the animal kingdom, and research has shown that those at the top and bottom of the hierarchy have different chemical balances in their brains. Those at the top have a higher ratio of serotonin, the happiness hormone, to octopamine. This chemical difference means that those at the top of the pecking order are more agile and have a more upright position, making them more intimidating, whilst those at the bottom of the pecking order are less likely to enter competitive situations against those above them, which reinforces their inactivity in a continued cycle of low self-esteem and depression. Therefore, to get higher up the pecking order, you need to stand up tall, push your shoulders back, and hold your head high. Key takeaway number 2. Never compare yourself to others. Self-criticism is necessary because it motivates us to strive to be better, and with our brains wired to see the present as lacking and the future as more promising, it ensures we're always taking action and pushing forward. The problem with self-criticism comes when we start comparing ourselves to other people, as we can quickly lose sight of our own progress, only seeing the bigger black and white picture of success or failure, rather than the small steps we've taken to get where we want to be. Comparing yourself to others also leads to zeroing in on one aspect, such as how you did at work over the past year, rather than looking at the wider picture of self-improvement and family life. Therefore, you should only judge yourself against your own prior accomplishments. If you start to think that you're always succeeding, it's a sign that you need to take bigger risks and push yourself more. Key takeaway number 3. Choose sacrifice over pleasure. Have you heard the story of the monkey who got his hand caught because he wouldn't let go of the food in his hand? The moral of this story is that there is a price to be paid for greed, and a reminder that we often pursue pleasure even when we know it is not in our best interest. It's easy to justify an immediate pleasure. If it makes me happy, it's got to be right, rather than a sacrifice. If I give up fast food, I'll become slimmer. When you're not living a happy, fulfilling life, but you should know that sacrifice brings better things in the future, and indeed, the bigger the sacrifice, the greater the reward can be. Key takeaway number 4. Conversations are not a competition. Socrates had such openness to learning that he died believing that the only thing he was certain of was that he knew nothing. We should learn a thing from one of the world's greatest philosophers by using genuine conversation as a way to think and learn, but unfortunately, most conversations don't happen like this because one or both people refuse to listen, treating the conversation as a competition that they need to win. To be more like Socrates, you should always presume that the other person has something to say that you need to hear. So remain objective. Stop thinking of what you're going to say next to get your point across, and instead, listen, then summarize what the person just said to make sure you understand it. Here are some quick summary notes from the book. Rule 1 Summary. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. Synopsis. The first rule in 12 Rules for Life is about recognizing the power of posture and taking responsibility for our lives. By standing up straight with our shoulders back, we can improve our confidence, attract others, and tap into an evolutionary advantage. Perhaps more importantly, we can demonstrate to ourselves and the world that we are willing to face life's challenges head-on and take ownership of our own destinies. Summary. The first topic in 12 Rules for Life is to stand up straight with your shoulders back. Although it may seem like a simple directive, there is a deeper meaning behind this rule. At its core, this rule is about taking responsibility for one's life and recognizing the power of posture. Peterson argues that the way we hold ourselves physically can influence how we feel and how others perceive us. By standing up straight with our shoulders back, we convey confidence and strength, which can elevate our own sense of self-worth and make us more attractive to others. Peterson also emphasizes the evolutionary significance of posture. Throughout human history, dominant individuals and animals have typically held themselves in an upright, assertive position. This posture signals to others that one is in control and can handle whatever challenges come their way. By mimicking this posture, we can tap into this evolutionary advantage and become more effective and powerful in our own lives. However, the significance of this rule goes beyond just physical posture. It is also a metaphor for how we approach life. By standing up straight with our shoulders back, we demonstrate that we are willing to face the challenges and difficulties that come our way. We are not cowering or backing down in the face of adversity. Instead, we are standing tall and facing our problems head-on. In a broader sense, standing up straight with our shoulders back is about taking responsibility for our own lives. It is about recognizing that we have agency and that our actions have consequences. We cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. By standing up straight, we signal to ourselves and others that we are in control of our own lives and are willing to take ownership of our successes and failures. Rule 2 Summary. Treat yourself like you are someone you are responsible for helping. Synopsis. The second rule in 12 Rules for Life is about recognizing the importance of self-care, self-compassion, and taking responsibility for our own lives. By treating ourselves like someone we are responsible for helping, we prioritize our own well-being, cultivate greater self-compassion, and become empowered to create the life we want to live. Summary. The second rule in Jordan Peterson's book is to treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. At its core, this rule is about recognizing the importance of self-care and taking responsibility for our own well-being. Peterson argues that we often take better care of others than we do of ourselves. We may go out of our way to help a friend or loved one in need, but we neglect our own needs and desires. This is somewhat problematic because we are ultimately responsible for our own lives. We always have a relationship with ourselves, and we cannot effectively help others if we do not take care of ourselves first. To treat ourselves like someone we are responsible for helping basically means to prioritize our own well-being in the same way that we prioritize the well-being of others. This can take many forms, from getting enough sleep and exercise to pursuing our own interests and goals. By taking care of ourselves, we become better equipped to handle the challenges that life throws our way and to be of service to others. But this rule is not just about self-care. It is also about self-compassion. Peterson argues that we are often harder on ourselves than we are on others. We may beat ourselves up for our mistakes or shortcomings, even though we would be quick to forgive those same shortcomings in someone else. By treating ourselves like someone we are responsible for helping, we can cultivate greater self-compassion and learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a friend or loved one. Rule 3 Summary. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Synopsis. The third rule in 12 Rules for Life is about the importance of surrounding ourselves with elevated influences who want the best for us. By choosing our friends wisely, becoming the kind of person who attracts positive influences, and fostering reciprocity in our relationships, we can create an empowering network that will help us achieve our aspirations. But ultimately, we must take responsibility for our own lives and pursue our own goals with dedication and determination. Summary. The third rule in Jordan Peterson's book is to make friends with people who want the best for you. At its core, this rule is about the importance of surrounding ourselves with positive influences who will support us in our goals and aspirations. Peterson argues that the people we surround ourselves with can have a significant impact on our lives. If we spend time with negative, toxic, and lower-frequency people who do not want the best for us, we are more likely to adopt their negative attitudes and behaviors. On the other hand, if we surround ourselves with positive, supportive, and empowering people who encourage us and believe in us, we are more likely to be successful and fulfilled. This rule is not just about choosing our friends wisely. It's also about becoming the kind of person who attracts positive influences into our lives. Peterson argues that we must first become someone who wants the best for ourselves before we can expect others to want the best for us. By working on ourselves, developing positive habits and attitudes, and pursuing our own goals, we will naturally attract others who share our values and aspirations. In addition, this rule is about recognizing the importance of reciprocity in relationships. If we want others to want the best for us, we must also want the best for them. We want to be willing to support and encourage our friends in their own goals and aspirations, and to celebrate their successes as if they were our own. Rule for summary. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Synopsis. The fourth rule in 12 Rules for Life is about the importance of focusing on our own progress, growth, and elevation rather than comparing ourselves to others. By looking at our own progress over time, setting our own goals and aspirations, and acknowledging our own strengths and achievements, we can build self-confidence and create a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. Summary. The fourth rule in Jordan Peterson's book is to compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. In essence, this rule is about the importance of self-development, improvement, and personal growth. Peterson argues that it is natural to compare ourselves to others, but that this can be a limiting habit. When we compare ourselves to others, we often feel inadequate, which can lead to feelings of anxiety and lower self-esteem. Furthermore, comparing ourselves to others can be a distraction from our own goals, as we become too focused on what others are doing or saying rather than on our own progress. Instead, Peterson suggests that we should focus on comparing ourselves to who we were yesterday. By doing so, by looking at our own progress over time, we can see how far we have come and recognize the progress we have made. This can be a powerful motivator to continue improving and elevating. By setting our own standards and striving to achieve them, we can create a sense of purpose, achievement, and meaning in our lives. Rule 5 Summary. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Synopsis. The fifth rule in 12 Rules for Life is about setting clear boundaries and expectations for children and being consistent in enforcing them. By doing so, parents can help their children to develop healthy, productive behaviors and build a positive, trusting relationship with them. Ultimately, this can help children to grow into confident, responsible adults who are able to navigate the challenges of the world with resilience. Summary. The fifth rule in Jordan Peterson's book is a provocative one. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. At first glance, this may seem like an obvious statement, but Peterson's point is more nuanced than it first appears. The key to this rule is understanding the difference between liking your child and disliking their behavior. Peterson argues that parents can love their children unconditionally, but they do not have to like everything their children do. Parents have a responsibility to teach their children right from wrong and to guide them toward behaviors that are healthy, productive, and socially acceptable. This may require setting boundaries, enforcing consequences, and saying no to their children when necessary. Peterson suggests that allowing children to engage in behaviors that are disrespectful, selfish, or harmful can erode the parent-child relationship over time. When parents allow their children to behave in ways that they find objectionable, they may begin to feel resentful or angry toward their children. This can lead to a breakdown in communication and trust and can make it more difficult for parents to guide their children effectively. To avoid this situation, Peterson suggests that parents should establish clear boundaries and expectations for their children and be consistent in enforcing them. This is also true for setting boundaries for other adults. This can include setting limits on screen time, monitoring their social media use, and preventing them from engaging in risky or dangerous activities. At the same time, parents may also want to focus on building a positive relationship with their children by spending quality time with them, showing them affection and support, and praising them for certain behaviors. Rule 6 Summary. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Synopsis. The sixth topic from the book 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson is set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. This chapter is all about taking full responsibility for your life and fixing what you can control in your own life first before trying to fix the problems of the world and everyone else. Summary: Peterson argues that people often fall into the trap of blaming others for their problems and feeling helpless in the face of larger societal issues. He suggests that instead of looking outward for solutions, we should first look inward and start by putting our own lives in order. This means taking full and complete responsibility for our actions, setting goals, and working diligently towards them. Peterson believes that by taking control of our own lives, we can become more resilient and better equipped to handle the challenges of the world. He argues that when we feel a sense of purpose and accomplishment in our personal lives, we are better able to handle the chaos and uncertainty of the external world around us. The idea of taking full and complete responsibility for your own life may be a difficult one to accept. It may be much easier to blame others or external circumstances for our problems. However, Peterson argues that this mindset is ultimately self-defeating. By refusing to take responsibility, we give up our power to make true changes in our lives. Setting our own houses in order can take many forms. It might, for example, mean cleaning up our physical space, organizing our finances, or improving our relationships. It might also mean facing our fears, confronting our flaws, and working to become the best version of ourselves. Rule 7 Summary: Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Synopsis: The main theme of this rule is that we should strive to pursue what is truly meaningful in our lives, rather than settling for what is urgent or easy. This requires us to face difficulties and be willing to make sacrifices in the short term. But in the end, the pursuit of meaning is what gives our lives purpose and fulfillment. Summary: The 7th topic from the book is pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. This chapter is all about finding purpose and meaning in our lives by pursuing what is truly important to us, rather than what is merely convenient or easy. Peterson argues that many people are stuck in a state of aimlessness and despair because they are pursuing things that don't truly matter to them. They may be chasing material possessions, social status, or other forms of external validation, but these pursuits are ultimately empty and unfulfilling. Instead, Peterson suggests that we should seek out activities and goals that have intrinsic value and meaning. This might involve pursuing goals in creative endeavors, engaging in meaningful relationships, or working towards a larger cause or purpose. According to Peterson, pursuing what is meaningful requires us to take on responsibility and face the inevitable challenges and difficulties that come with it. It requires us to be honest with ourselves about what we truly value and to have the courage to pursue those things, even in the face of adversity. One of the key messages of this chapter is that pursuing what is meaningful often requires us to delay gratification and make sacrifices in the short term. To truly pursue what is meaningful, we must be willing to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from our failures. According to Peterson, this is the only way to truly live a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling. Rule 8 Summary: Tell the truth, or, at least, don't lie. Synopsis: The main theme of this chapter is the importance of honesty in our lives. Telling the truth, even when it is difficult, is essential for building trust, maintaining healthy relationships, and living an empowered life. By embracing honesty, we can better understand ourselves and the world around us and make decisions that align with our values and goals. Summary: The 8th topic from the book, 12 Rules for Life, by Jordan Peterson is tell the truth, or, at least, don't lie. This chapter is all about the importance of honesty in our lives and the consequences of being dishonest and even delusional. Peterson argues that lying is a form of betrayal and can have serious negative consequences. When we lie, even slightly, we break the trust that others have placed in us, and this can damage our relationships and our reputation. Lying can also have psychological consequences, as it can lead to feelings of guilt, shame, and anxiety. According to Peterson, telling the truth is not just about avoiding lying. It's about being honest with ourselves and others in all key areas of life. This means being truthful about our intentions, our feelings, and our actions. It also means being willing to confront uncomfortable truths and acknowledge our weaknesses, shadows, and mistakes. Peterson believes that the pursuit of truth is an essential part of human existence. He argues that by seeking truth, we are able to better understand ourselves and the world around us. This understanding can help us make better decisions and live more fulfilling lives. The chapter also explores the idea that lying can become a habit or even an addiction. When we lie, we often have to tell more lies to cover up our initial dishonesty. This can create a vicious cycle of deception that can be difficult to break. To avoid this, Peterson encourages us to be honest from the start, even when it may be extremely uncomfortable. Radical honesty, of course, requires courage. It takes courage to be honest with ourselves about our flaws and mistakes, and it takes courage to be honest with others when the truth may be difficult to hear. But in the end, honesty is the foundation of trust and integrity, and it is essential for not only relationships but also personal growth. Rule 9 Summary. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Synopsis. The main theme of this chapter is the importance of listening and learning from others. By assuming that the person we are speaking with might know something we don't, we can open ourselves up to new ideas and perspectives and engage with the world around us in a more meaningful way. Listening actively and with empathy can help us develop a deeper understanding of others and ourselves, and can ultimately lead to greater personal growth and fulfillment. Summary. The 9th topic from the book is Assume the person you are listening to might know something you don't. This chapter is all about the importance of listening and learning from others, even when we disagree with them. Peterson argues that in order to truly understand and engage with the world around us, we must be willing to listen to others with an open mind. This means assuming that the person we are speaking with may have knowledge or experience that we do not, and being willing to learn from them. According to Peterson, too often we approach conversations with the intention of proving our own point of view, rather than listening to the other person. This may create a cycle of argument and conflict and can prevent us from truly engaging with others in a meaningful way. By assuming that the person we are listening to might know something we don't, we open ourselves up to new ideas and perspectives. This can help us grow and expand our understanding of the world around us. The chapter also explores the idea that listening is an active process, rather than a passive one. To truly listen, we must be fully present and engaged in the conversation. This means putting aside our own biases and assumptions and being willing to consider new ideas and perspectives. One of the key messages of this chapter is that by listening to others, we can also develop empathy and understanding. By truly engaging with others, even when we disagree with them, we can learn to see the world from different perspectives and develop a deeper appreciation for the complexity of the human experience. Rule 10 Summary. Be precise in your speech. Synopsis. The main theme of this chapter is the importance of being precise in our speech. By choosing our words carefully and speaking with intention, we can communicate more effectively with others and avoid misunderstandings and conflict. We can also clarify our own thoughts and beliefs and take responsibility for our words and actions. In a world where communication is increasingly important, being precise in our speech can be a powerful tool for personal growth and elevation. Summary. The 10th topic from the book is Be Precise in Your Speech. This chapter is all about the importance of being clear and intentional in the way we communicate with others. Peterson argues that words have power and that the way we use them can have a significant impact on our lives and the lives of those around us. Therefore, it's crucial to be precise in the way we speak, both to avoid misunderstandings and to ensure that our intentions are accurately conveyed. He explains that being precise in our speech means being truthful, but also being mindful of the effect our words might have on others. It means using language that is clear, concise, and well thought out. It means taking the time to choose our words carefully, rather than being casual and simply saying whatever comes to mind. In many ways, our speech is a reflection of our thoughts and beliefs. Therefore, if we want to improve our lives, we must start by improving the way we speak. By being precise in our speech, we can clarify our own thoughts and ideas and communicate them more effectively to others. Another important aspect of being precise in our speech is that it helps us to take responsibility for our own words and actions. When we speak with intention and clarity and honesty, we are less likely to say things we regret or to misinterpret what others are saying to us. Rule 11 Summary. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. Synopsis. The main theme of this chapter is the importance of allowing children to take risks and explore their boundaries, even if it means exposing them to some level of danger. By doing so, we can help children develop the skills and confidence they need to navigate the world on their own and empower them to become capable and self-sufficient adults. This is also true for adults. Summary. The 11th topic from the book, 12 Rules for Life, is do not bother children when they are skateboarding. This chapter focuses on the idea that children need the freedom to take risks and explore their boundaries, even if it means exposing them to some level of danger. Peterson argues that children need to develop their own sense of competence and independence, which comes from pushing themselves to take risks and try new things. This can include activities like skateboarding, where there's always a risk of injury or failure. By letting children take these risks, we are giving them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes and build their confidence. However, many adults try to protect children from any kind of risk or danger out of a desire to keep them safe. Peterson argues that this can actually be harmful to children, as it prevents them from developing the skills and confidence they need to navigate the world on their own. In particular, Peterson points out that skateboarding is a particularly valuable activity for children because it requires a great deal of skill, concentration, and courage. By mastering the challenges of skateboarding, children can develop a sense of mastery and control over their environment, which can be immensely empowering. At the same time, however, Peterson acknowledges that there are risks involved in skateboarding and that children need to be aware of these risks. It is up to parents and other adults to provide guidance and support for children as they explore their boundaries, while also ensuring that they are taking reasonable precautions to minimize the risk of serious injury. Rule 12 Summary. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Synopsis. The main theme of this chapter is that finding joy and meaning in life often involves appreciating the small things and taking the time to connect with the world around us. By doing so, we can develop a greater sense of gratitude, happiness, and responsibility, and find a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Summary. The 12th topic in Jordan Peterson's book is Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. This chapter may seem lighthearted, but it carries a deeper message about finding joy and meaning in life. Peterson argues that life is filled with suffering and that, in order to endure it, we need to find ways to enjoy the small things in life. One of the ways we can do this is by appreciating the beauty and joy that can be found in even the simplest of experiences, such as petting a cat. Peterson suggests that when we encounter a cat on the street, we should take a moment to appreciate its beauty and grace, and perhaps even give it a gentle pet. In doing so, we can experience a moment of connection with another living being, which can bring us a sense of joy and fulfillment. Moreover, Peterson argues that this kind of appreciation for small pleasures can be a powerful tool for combating the negative aspects of life. By focusing on the positive things in life, even if they are small and seemingly insignificant, we can cultivate a sense of gratitude and happiness that can help us to overcome the challenges and hardships that we inevitably face. In addition to this, Peterson also notes that taking the time to appreciate the beauty and joy of the world around us can also help to develop a sense of responsibility and care for the world. When we take the time to appreciate the natural beauty of a cat or any other living thing, we become more aware of the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of caring for our environment and the creatures that inhabit it. What is Jordan Peterson's argument for why one should stand up straight with your shoulders back? Peterson argues that the way we carry ourselves physically can have a big impact on our mental state. Think about it. When you're slouching and hunched over, you're not exactly radiating confidence and strength, are you? But when you stand up tall with your shoulders back, you automatically look and feel more powerful. And that can translate to all sorts of areas in your life, from your relationships to your career. Additionally, research suggests that posture can affect everything from our hormone levels to our risk of depression. So, by standing up straight and presenting ourselves as strong and confident, we're actually making ourselves stronger and more confident on a deeper level. How does Jordan Peterson suggest one should deal with difficult people in their lives? Jordan Peterson suggests that we approach difficult people with empathy, understanding that they're probably struggling with their own demons. But that doesn't mean we should let them walk all over us. Peterson also recommends setting clear boundaries with difficult people and being assertive when they cross those boundaries. Of course, dealing with difficult people is never easy, and sometimes we just have to walk away from toxic relationships altogether. But with a little bit of empathy, assertiveness, and boundary setting, we can navigate these tricky situations and come out stronger on the other side. What is the significance of telling the truth in 12 Rules for Life? Peterson argues that the truth can set us free. By facing the truth, we can confront our problems head-on and find solutions. It's not always easy, but the reward is worth the effort. Not to mention, being honest with others builds trust and strengthens relationships. Peterson's message is clear: tell the truth, even if it's hard. It's the only way to live a fulfilling life and build a solid foundation of integrity. How does Jordan Peterson's book address the issue of personal meaning and purpose? Throughout the book, Peterson argues that it is essential for individuals to have a clear understanding of their own values, beliefs, and goals in order to live a fulfilling life. He also emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions and making choices that align with one's values and goals. He argues that without a clear sense of purpose, individuals can easily become lost or aimless, leading to feelings of despair or meaninglessness. However, by taking the time to reflect on one's values and goals, individuals can begin to develop a sense of direction and purpose in their lives. The end. I hope you do enjoy watching Summary 12 Rules for Life. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. See you in next video.